Good morning, all. Happy Tuesday. I had some dreams last night. I had Kim Kardashian in my dreams. Weird. Interesting to say the least. Probably because it's all I see on freaking TikTok algorithm in reference to her new love interest and her and, Monaco? For the race and all the hoopla between the wags. I mean, to each to their own, but my gosh. Golly, they just get on one and run with it, don't they? Jeez. So extra. Now is not the time and place for that, guys. We're a little past that. So it was funny. Golly, I can't even hone in on what the dreams are really about. Just, I guess, more or less, and just the presence that the entertainment biz has within this reality and the false facade that they create intentionally to have you look over here to where you're not looking or thinking about this over here. And again, I'm not saying her or whatever, but I'm just saying it's just so evident sometimes when it's just like every other video is this. That doesn't just happen regularly. That's forced, generally speaking. A lot of the times too, I think right now in reference to Papi T, I think that he is on the train of giving people things to talk about, like falling asleep, walking out in an interview, just showing his hiney a bit. I think it's just to get the population, get the people talking and, getting that frustration up in you, because at the end of the day, there's our hands are tied in some certain ways. At the end of the day, he is the president. He does have control. And so I've been put in a world where it's like, although you walk in a reality that's free, there's very little control in some ways, and people like to show their butt and kind of throw their power around, like ha ha he, look at you and look at me type thing. And I feel like in different ways we're seeing that on the grandiose scale. And so you just gotta hone in on what you allow to come into your energy, what you allow to come into your mind, into your thoughts, into your emotions really. I think that the sooner we all take control of our emotions and see which way they're going, the better off we'll all be. But anywho, something came to me. This was a few days ago. There's a comment I made. It kind of came out of nowhere. I'm not sure where it came from. That happens a lot sometimes with me. But I made the comment in reference to, I feel as though within myself, I'm religious with my spirituality. And it was kind of said, oh, you think you can follow religious beliefs while being spiritual? And I was like, yeah, I think you can have a bit of both. It's totally up to you and whatever it is your faith is, your belief is, whatever. But me personally, I just don't understand why there's such a distinction between the two in reference to spirituality and religion. And so I was curious to see the difference between the two, and it makes sense to me now. And I now see why they've just pushed so much different areas of religion and indoctrinated it in reference to the populace, because religion is generally about shared beliefs and doctrines, worship practices and traditions, communities and fellowship, teaching and accountability and structure, how those beliefs are practiced and passed on, whereas spirituality is more of an intimate relationship with God, the divine, and the higher purpose, inner transformation and growth, seeking meaning of truth, wisdom, and connection with yourself, with your consciousness that resides inside of you, developing qualities such as love, peace, humility, and compassion. What I believe and how I connect with God, everybody's belief and their connection with God is designed to be individualized for you. Everybody's connection is going to be different with God, the divine, the higher power. It's going to be different because you are who you are and I am who I am. Right? I've walked through the things that I've walked through in my life, and you've walked through the things that you've walked through in your life, right? Whatever that may look like up until this point, your childhood wounds, your social conformity, whatever type of abuse is out there that you've been through. I mean, at this point in the venture, I don't think there's not one person on this earth that hasn't been through some form of abuse, whether that be mental, physical, sexual, psychological, spiritual, religiously. I mean, there's so many different forms of abuse out there. I think that we've all gotten a snip of it. And so it's one of those things that you just kind of got to go hone in on within yourself and what you carry within yourself in reference to that, because things that you've been through are never going to go away. They're going to reside inside of you for the rest of your life. It's a matter of taking your past selves and the past versions of yourself and unifying that together with who you are today, to where when you move forward throughout this life, you can take all those things that you've been through, turn it around for better, elevate from it, grow from it, gather wisdom from it, gather knowledge from it, gather humility from it, That's my biggest thing, is just understanding, that people are who they are. You're not going to change them. If they ever accept accountability, or maybe they will, maybe they won't. That's for their path. That's for their journey. It's a matter of you recognizing, are you able to live in a world surrounded by people that perhaps choose not to? And are you going to allow that to take you and your world into a negative place? Or are you going to take that, turn that around, move an example, and do better within your reality by not allowing the exterior to get you down, think, oh, it's all doom and gloom type thing. You got to run on hope. If you don't have hope, you don't have faith. What do we have at this point? You know what I mean? It's one of those things, like, yeah, it's an interesting world. Yeah, it's an interesting economy, but so much is a show right now. And the question is, are you going to buy to get in the show? Are you going to buy that ticket? Are you going to live life the way that you want to? Whether that be in religion, whether that be in spirituality, whether that be neither of the two. Right? You have power within your world. Nobody else has that power unless you give that to them. And that's what these people want in different ways. They want your mind. They want you to think what they think. They don't want you to question. That's heavens. They definitely don't want you to question. They don't want you to think logically. Because if you were to think logically, hindsight 2020, if you were to think logically, you'd be waking up to realizing, wow, it's all been a lie for quite some time. And that's a hard thing to wake up to. It's a hard thing when you've just been pushing the pedal, pushing the bag, pushing the dream. It's hard to wake up to. And so I find it to be interesting why spirituality and religion has been so much posed against each other. Can you have both? Many people throughout history have been both deeply spiritual and actively religious. Example, Moses, David, Paul, the Apostle. Ain't that the truth? David. I love me some David. I got a little Jonathan in my world. My girlfriend, I told her that the other day. I was like, you remind me of my Jonathan. And just like Candace being David to Charlie, and Charlie being the Jonathan, People see things within you that you don't even see within yourself, and then they create these handlers around you and all kinds of crap. It's so crazy to think, but it is the truth. It is the truth. If it wasn't, they wouldn't be moving mountains to keep the truth hidden. And I'm pretty sure the other half of the Epstein files would unravel a lot of that. To say the least. Hypocrisy, abuse of authority, legalism, judgment without compassion. That's kind of on the side of religious intuition. Institutions. It really is true. Hypocrisy, abuse of authority, and legalism. Golly. Judgment without compassion. You got it. I mean, at this point, if you're going to judge, you got to carry compassion. I mean, you just do. If you're going to carry judgment, you might as well throw compassion in there. At anything, you just need to let go of that judgment, unless you want to judge yourself because you're just holding up a mirror. I try to look at that in every beacon of my day. Like, okay, I'm just looking at myself. I need to treat, you know what I mean? And treat everybody as if it's yourself. If you're in a situation, handle the situation, see what the lesson is within that situation, right? Throughout the day, all day, because we live in a world where they're going to try to get you. They're going to have antics. They're going to have illusions. They're going to have propaganda. They're going to do the most. They're going to do the most. They're fluffering right now. You can just feel it. I hope everybody has a good day. I love you.